The day Sergeant Luke Carter came home, nobody recognized him. Not because of the beard, not because of the scars, but because the war had taken something no one could see. Afghanistan had ended for America. But for Luke, it never did. He used to be the loud one in his small Texas town. High school quarterback, the guy who laughed too hard, too loud, the one who married his childhood sweetheart, Emma, before deploying with the 82nd Airborne. On his third tour, everything changed. It was a routine patrol outside dry heat, silenced to quiet to trust. Then the explosion. The IED didn't kill him. It killed Private Mason Reed, 19 years old. First deployment, carried pictures of his baby sister in his helmet. Luke was the squad leader. He made the call to take that road. And that decision replayed in his head every night after. When he came home to Texas, the town threw a parade. Flags, applause, hero banners hanging from Main Street. Luke smiled for pictures. But that night he sat in the dark garage, engine off, just listening to the silence. Because silence felt closer to the desert than the noise inside his house. Emma tried. God, she tried. She left the porch light on every night, like she used to when he was deployed. She learned the difference between fireworks and backfiring trucks before he did. She pretended not to notice when he flinched at the 4th of July celebration. The VA appointments helped a little, but guilt doesn't leave just because someone calls it PTSD. One afternoon, months after coming home, Luke received a letter, handwritten, from a woman in Ohio. It was Mason's mother. She wrote that she didn't blame him. She wrote that Mason had always wanted to serve, that he had looked up to Sergeant Carter like a big brother. At the bottom there was one line. Please don't led my son's death. Take the soldiers. Luke read that sentence 20 times. That night, instead of sitting in the garage, he walked inside. He told Emma everything. The road decision, the guilt, the nightmares, the smell of dust and smoke that wouldn't leave him. For the first time, he cried in front of her. Not quiet tears, breaking tears. And Emma held him like she used to before deployments. Like he was still just Luke, not a soldier, not a hero, not a headline. Months later, Luke drove to Ohio. He stood at Mason's grave with his cap in his hands. I'm sorry, he whispered. But Mason's mother stepped beside him and said something he didn't expect. He chose to follow you. Not blame, not anger. Pride. That was the day Luke understood something no one tells veterans. Coming home is another kind of battlefield, so he started fighting differently. He began volunteering at a local veterans center, talking to younger soldiers just back from overseas, telling them the truth, not the movie version. He told them about guilt, about survivor's weight, about how strength isn't silence. Slowly, the war in his head got quieter. Not gone, but manageable. Years later, at a high school assembly on Veterans Day, Luke stood in front of teenagers who only knew war from video games. He didn't talk about enemies. He talked about Mason, about responsibility, brotherhood, and choosing to live when others can't. When he finished, the room was silent, not the haunted kind, the respectful kind. That night, back home in Texas, fireworks popped in the distance. Luke didn't flinch. Emma squeezed his hand, and for the first time since Afghanistan, he felt like he had truly come home.